To escape the pursuit, the main character Eddie ends up in a desolate area. Venom peeks out to tell Eddie some dangerous news. The monster that was just chasing them on the plane is a conscious entity from the void that specializes in hunting symbiotic beings. As long as I don't transform, they won't detect us. At this moment, Eddie just wants to get to New York quickly to see the Statue of Liberty, something Venom has always longed for. But right now he can only walk forward. As he starts to feel discouraged, a brown donkey appears in front of him. Delighted, Eddie gently places his hand on the donkey's back. In an instant, Venom merges with the donkey, transforming it into a majestic black horse. Two tendrils gently lift Eddie onto the horse's back. This extraordinary horse begins galloping across the desert, its hoofbeats thundering like a storm dust swirling in the wind. It's no longer an ordinary donkey, but more like a divine steed on the battlefield. As they approach a cliff, the horse not only leaps with breathtaking speed, but Eddie also cries out in astonishment midair. Venom quickly pulls him back onto the horse's back. Venom smugly declares, "Now this is the most powerful horse on Earth." Soon they reach a riverside. As the horse drinks to its heart's content, Eddie feels unbearable pain throughout his body. Suddenly a military aircraft appears in the sky. Soldiers armed with specialized weapons fire sonic waves. Venom immediately feels uncomfortable and is forced to push Eddie into the river. Eddie struggles to surface while Venom quickly separates from the horse, jumping into the water to reunite with Eddie. However, the aircraft is prepared, not giving him a chance to merge. The general orders to kill Eddie and capture Venom. The six-man squad immediately splits into two groups to take action. In the underwater battle, Eddie struggles with a special agent seizing her gun and pulling the trigger. When he realizes his opponent is a woman, is stunned. This is the first time he has killed someone. Meanwhile, Venom is still trying to break through the encirclement. After getting trapped in a net, he cleverly merges with a fish, then switches to a frog. Finally, with a leap, he returns to Eddie's side. As soon as they merge, the hidden conscious entity detects the movement. A special agent is using an electric baton to subdue Venom. The appearance of the conscious entity interrupts the fight. Faced with this terrifying creature, the agents immediately shift their firepower, but bullets can't harm it at all. In an instant, the conscious entity devours three agents. Eddie seizes the opportunity to escape to the shore. The general, observing everything from above, angrily questions the scientist about why another creature is here. In the lab, a new symbiotic being has just been created. It reveals a terrifying truth. The conscious entity is here to steal a code, and that code is hidden within Venom's body. This code is tied to the fate of the entire universe and cannot fall into the hands of the conscious entity. The general immediately makes a decision. The safest course of action is to kill Eddie and Venom. While wandering, Eddie meets a family on a picnic who gives him a ride. After a nap, he arrives in Las Vegas. There he encounters a familiar face, Mrs. Tran. She knows that he and Venom are bonded and invites Venom to dance with her. As Venom and Mrs. Tran are dancing, the hidden conscious entity watching from above takes notice of them. The glow of the code within Venom's body is like a beacon in the night, allowing the conscious entity to easily locate them. To save its master, the conscious entity is determined to kill Eddie. Without hesitation, it charges toward the code. Venom quickly senses the danger and immediately returns to Eddie's form. Seeing the hideous creature before her, Mrs. Tran exclaims that it's too ugly. Eddie quickly signals for her to stay calm. At this point, the conscious entity loses its target like a blind person. It roars in frustration, leaps to a higher spot and departs. But the danger isn't over. A military helicopter roars in, and the special ops team sent by the general has also located Eddie. The agents, wielding specialized ultrasonic weapons, immediately separate Venom from Eddie's body and trap it in a container. The weakened Eddie is also taken by the agents. According to the information the general received, only Eddie's death will make the conscious entity disappear. Upon reaching the secret research base, Venom and other symbiotic creatures are confined in specially designed observation rooms. A young girl nearby takes a particular interest in Venom. After the general meets with Eddie, this cold military man immediately shoots Eddie in the chest. In that critical moment, the girl suddenly transforms into a female version of Venom, and Venom quickly merges back with Eddie to prevent his death. As the two sides are in a tense standoff, the conscious entity suddenly bursts in. Venom has always feared encountering the conscious entity, but another blue symbiotic creature attacks, at first shouting. Venom quickly run away. If the code falls into his hands, all symbiotic beings and humans will be in danger. Before the warning is finished, the blue symbiotic creature is devoured by the conscious entity. The research base immediately descends into chaos. The general orders, everyone quickly retreat. Humanity's artillery cannot harm the conscious entity. The girl follows Venom's advice and presses the button to release all the symbiotic creatures. Although the conscious entity cannot see its target, it acts like a frenzied monster, swallowing anything in its path. Other symbiotic creatures begin to quickly merge with those around them. Creatures of all shapes and sizes, from tall to short and thin to stout, including slender beauties, emerge one after another. Despite their different appearances, they all share a common goal: to protect Venom by sacrificing their lives to thwart the actions of the conscious entity. Venom uses its strength to break through the wall and, along with several other symbiotic creatures, rushes outside. On the observation deck, the Maum family, enjoying the beautiful scenery, witnesses a shocking scene. Previously they had been hospitable to Eddie, but they had no idea of his true identity. The symbiotic creatures continue to fight alongside each other against the conscious entity. Eddie uses his tendrils to quickly fly up to the observation deck and tells the Maum family, "You need to leave quickly." Just then the general has aimed a grenade launcher at the conscious entity and fires. The tremendous firepower tears apart the conscious entity and the symbiotic creatures nearby, simultaneously shaking the observation deck not far away. Seeing the Maum family in danger, Eddie and several other symbiotic creatures join forces to bring him safely down to the ground. The Green Goddess tells the general that the symbiotic creatures are actually protecting humans. The real threat is the conscious entities. Before the general can calm down, he sees the conscious entity that has been shattered suddenly restore itself right before his eyes. The conscious entity immediately emits a terrifying sonic wave. This is a signal to summon its allies. Soon many more conscious entities flood in through the spatial portal. The situation is spiraling out of control. Venom decides to use itself to draw them away, allowing everyone to retreat quickly. Eddie climbs onto the motorcycle and quickly leaves the old position. The conscious entity detects the code and immediately halts its actions, relentlessly pursuing it. The general orders everyone to lead the monsters to the damage zone to eliminate them completely. Guns from the helicopter fire frantically at the conscious entity, but the results are minimal. The Green Goddess sees this and immediately springs into action, using her agility to jump up and down. She does her best to prolong the pursuit of the conscious entity. Venom gradually leads the pursuing monsters to the damage zone. He raises the motorcycle high and performs a leap in midair before quickly returning to the form of Eddie, causing the conscious entity to lose its target. The human fighter jets take this opportunity to bombard, believing they have wiped them out completely. However, upon closer inspection, a conscious entity suddenly jumps out and blows up the fighter jet. Eddie realizes that this situation isn't sustainable. He and the Green Goddess come up with an idea. They decide to use the helicopter's rotor blades. Eddie lunges forward, causing the motorcycle to soar into the air. Then his two tentacles grasp a piece of the rotor blade and strike it hard against the head of the conscious entity. The effect is remarkable. It shatters into pieces. The Green Goddess immediately follows suit, wielding another piece of the rotor blade to attack the conscious entity with a flurry of strikes, rescuing the injured general and special forces. When Eddie was about to continue fighting, he was unexpectedly attacked from behind by a conscious entity, leaving him severely injured. Outside there were still 4 to 5 conscious entities lurking. Venom told his teammates that it might be time to end everything. The only regret was not being able to see the Statue of Liberty. Eddie immediately understood Venom's intention and decided to join him in sacrificing themselves to become the last defenders of Earth. He spread his arms wide and moved forward, ready to embrace death. Eddie quickly transformed, using his tentacles to pull the conscious entities into his body, preparing to die with them. He gave the general a meaningful look, signaling to activate the device to eliminate Venom. However, just as Eddie was ready to accept his fate, Venom suddenly pushed him away. Eddie was taken aback. He had mentally prepared himself for death. At that moment, Venom softly said, "Don't forget me, Eddie." The heavily injured general exerted all his strength to activate the machine. A liquid sprayed all over Venom, bringing unprecedented pain. It seemed that humans had developed a substance that could truly kill symbiotic creatures, seeing that the general's body could no longer withstand it. Venom crushed the nearby pipe, causing all the liquid to spill out in an attempt to destroy the code and the remaining conscious entities. Before dying, Venom extended his final tentacle, slowly approaching Eddie and pulling a nearby door to shield his entire body. Then the general, gasping for his last breath, activated the grenade in his hand, causing a massive explosion. In the distance, the scientist and the girl were fleeing, trying to avoid the splattering liquid. The girl accidentally fell to the ground. In that moment of danger, the scientist shattered the test tube in his hand, quickly transforming into a symbiotic creature and like a flash of lightning saving the girl. Sometime later, Eddie woke up in the hospital. When he called out for his close friend Venom, the official beside him calmly said that everything was over and it was time to start a new life. But the secret about Venom had to be kept forever. On the streets of New York, Eddie walked in silence, the beautiful moments with Venom playing like a slow-motion film in his mind. They had fought together, teased each other, and moved forward and backward side by side. Finally, Eddie arrived at the Statue of Liberty, gazing at the scene that Venom had always longed for. He gently said, "I will never forget you." Thus the film ended in the somber atmosphere of Eddie and the audience. Could this be Venom's last movie? Please leave a comment to let everyone know. Nia Recaps says goodbye and see you again.